Welcome to season 21 with Titus Pétange. This is going to be one of the most interesting seasons. Maybe not filled with success in European competition, but just super interesting developing players because the old guard has started crumbling. We've sold a lot of decent players, really decent players. The only parts of the old guard that remain really are Paradiso and Leffinger because they are simply irreplaceable and they will go until they're about 30 at this club. We're against Monaco in the game that we're going to show, and this should be for qualification to the knockout rounds, which, to be honest, is the only thing that I can really expect this year. It is a real big rebuilding job and some very interesting changes within the dynamics of the groups and position changes and just signings in general. So yeah, it was a heavy loss against Juventus, the one that we've suffered here. We've also had the FIFA Club World Cup, but we lost on penalties to Real Madrid. My team was absolutely shattered by the end of this. I hate this competition so much. It's such a it's a bollocks competition, and I feel like boycotting it next time it comes around. Honestly, get the second team out because it is not worth my attention whatsoever. This competition actually ruined that kind of start to the season, to be honest. That we were just so knackered. We were so knackered. We've only recovered in the last, 2 weeks. Paradiso's been injured. Leffinger's been injured. And I'm going to associate them with just the stupid amount of games that they've had to play. They've had to play a stupid amount of games. Right. Ready for this transfer history, because it's a big one. It's a big one. We have spent £335 million and sold 313. Let's go to the previous season and see if there was any latecomers, not from the ins and not from the outs. Okay, so it's all about season 2041 to 42. Let's sort out by fees. And you'll already see some of the big names on the outbounds. We'll just highlight how many loans we've got going. There is a very big conveyor belt now that we have at the team. But it just helps with development. It really does help with development. So let's go from the outs first. SGL or whatever, the guy from our youth academy, he was absolutely terrible. He never got a game, whatever. He's moved on. Great, that's fantastic. We actually got a bit of money for him, £17,000. Sound. Andriy Sachko, he has gone to Napoli for £4 million. Jan Nielsen went to CSK Moscow for 4.1 million. And then Philip Magnusson. So we started off getting rid of some of the under-23 players that weren't going to really make it. So Magnusson, 7 million. Greg Smith, 8 million. Into Copenhagen. Copenhagen's had our trousers down again. Marcos, 25-year-old now. He's got great potential, but 25, can he reach it? I don't think he can. He's gone to Olympiacos. We'll keep an eye on him. If he somehow blossoms into a world beater, we can go back and try and bid for him. Definitely. But he's 25. I don't know how many years left we can really squeeze out. Pastoriza was a pretty decent sale at £10 million because he never really blossomed into what we wanted. And what he really could have done if given the right circumstances. Eyes Pura moved to Wolfsburg, doesn't like big games. I would have given him a little bit more time to develop, but he doesn't like big games. Keep an eye on him. I think we've got a clause on that one. David Hart's gone to Arsenal. Very Arsenal player, really. Noel Kunders, his potential absolutely dropped. It tanked from 5 stars to 3.5 stars. We know now that 4 stars is world-class, apparently, so Kunders would not be world-class, and we have got better centre mids available to us. So he's going to Atletico Madrid for 27.5 million. And then here goes our youth academy player, Robert Makovich. I would have kept him for a long, long time, but he doesn't like big games either. So Makovich leaves, and you could kind of see it at the end, like the back end of last season, that he was really struggling in the big games. So £40 million plus 40% of the next transfer, I'll take. Suchan. How long have we had Suchan? He goes to PSG for 47.5 million. That's about, what, a £40 million profit when we signed him up from Slavia Prague all those years ago. 2032 to 33 was when we signed him. Unbelievable. He's been here for a hell of a long time. Kind of don't even... He's been so much a staple of this football club that I've just ignored his stats because it's like, oh, Suchan's in the middle. But actually, he's not that great. He's not that great. So I think we can do better. Salazar's looking pretty decent. We've got Beck as well. Dodig was a massive one. All the players going in the same window. £55 million plus 40% of next transfer, of course. But that's not even the big sale, because the big sale is the absolute log at the back. The wall, the Titan, Nenad Balic moving to Real Madrid. And honestly, I can't see past Real Madrid for the next Champions League. They've just added this guy to their plethora of superstars. We can't compete with them this year. But hopefully, in 2 years' time, we'll be back on top, baby. We will be back on top with the development that we are giving these new players. £74 million there for Balic. Okay, so with all the money collected, and also Mil Reinders going to PSG from Liverpool for 113 million. I had a 40% transfer sell on to that. The clause got me even more money. With that pool of money, about 200 odd million, give or take, with the board kind of, scranning some of it. I raided our scouting pool. The 5 stars, the 4.5 stars. I went through it like crazy. So this is Hernan Squadron. What a weird name, Squadron. Anyway, it might be Squadrone. There he is, 5-star goalkeeper. Afori's position is getting weaker now because we've got so many good young goalkeepers coming through. Enrique Turco, who's another 5-star potential player. How about that? A Brazilian striker could be a magical player for us. He was 5.5 million. Anders Nijman. He's dropped potential. Look, you can't get your own way every single time. So maybe this guy's not going to make it. But it's a drop in the ocean at £6 million. Luis Alberto is a 4.5-star player, midfielder, that we might be able to change into a left winger. We'll have to see. We will have to see. He's very strong on that left foot. He's got quite a nice wheel for it, but he can't cross. How about this? This might be my favourite transfer. Might be my favourite transfer of the entire lot. This 24-year-old, right, coming in from Lyon at £11.25 million after I sold Makovich. And you might be thinking, boy, this is a bit weird. This is so against what Curtis usually does. Well, I only try and sniff out a deal as well. And this guy is a deal. This guy is one of the biggest bargains of the of the decade. Even though we've just started the decade in 2041. He's a model citizen. He's got 19 determination. He's very good in the big matches. Very good in the big matches. His wheel's not bad. Like, we can muster up a good player here. He's only 24. His ability went from 2.5 stars, and it shot straight up to 4. Look at this ability graph. He's one of our best trainers, if not the best trainer. He always puts 10s in training. What a signing. What a signing. I don't know. This is complete mismanagement and mistreatment by Lyon. I've seen this history before. 2039-40 has actually put a pretty decent season together, scoring 13 goals, 7.18 rating. And then they just forgot about him. But what, 10 less games unless he got injured? And then we just picked him up. They were happy to just give him to us for his valuation. Didn't even push us in any way. That's a player that could give us a lot. Fair enough. That might be a ceiling right there. That might be it. But even at that point, we're making a significant profit. But if we can get even more out of him, I don't really know what Leon's playing at, to be honest. 11.25 million, absolute steal, and made the Makovich transfer not just bearable, kind of nice, kind of just sweetened the deal for us. Augusto Pinheiro, a Portuguese player that doesn't look like it's going to work out, but you know what? You're going to make them gambles, £18.5 million. Christopher Larkin, we're going to try and find some English talent as well. Usually the English talent is overpriced, not with Middlesbrough. Excuse me, Middlesbrough was quite reasonable at 19.75 million. Looks like it's growing quite nicely. Andre Almeida. We're getting into the serious money territories now. This guy's a 4.5-star Belgian from Club Bloody Bruges. £26 million. I could have got him for cheaper, but he signed a new contract. We had to wait. And wait, we did. A long time. A long time. Let's go back onto that. Alper Bashturk. He's dropped massively in potential. Oh, good. Well, there's another dud. Borussia Dortmund had my pants down, £26 million. Well, there you go. I know that, like I said, I know that there's going to be duds, but eventually, with the class of my scouts, with the money that I'm throwing at this, some shit will stick. Some shit will, of course, stick. Hans van Leeuwen, a winger, left-footed winger from Ajax at £33 million. We are getting into some crazy money territories now, but it keeps on getting higher. Reuben Gomez. This is a Portuguese player that might work out. The replacement to Balic. No pressure, lad. No pressure. Very strong on his left foot. Fairly strong on his right foot. 4.5-star potential. What's not to like about him? 6'2". Really nice. Could actually turn into a midfielder if we really so wanted to, but we're not going to do that. We need a defender. Reuben Gomez. I've been keeping an eye on him. Raul Torres. Even more money being pumped into it. It's brilliant when you get to this point where you can actually buy players from Barcelona quite easily. A striker from Barcelona with 5-star potential. Let's keep an eye on him. Will he be the next Brian Lefinja? We never know. Will this guy be the next Brian Lefinja? Rob Burnett, it was actually a shootout, a decision to have between Raul Torres and Rob Burnett. These were the two players that were highly rated by our scouts to sign up. And of course, with all the sales on the strikers, the changeover, should we say a changeover of strikers, I really wanted to cement a future, some more security. What happens when Lefinja goes? Who's going to hold the torch? Who's going to be that main guy? So it's signing up some young strikers. Thankfully, we had the money to sign up some new strikers. Who's going to win out of Rob Burnett and Raul Torres? Or will it be, we've got another lad in the under-23s who's out on loan, Juan Manuel Quero, who came from Real Madrid. So there's actually that battle of Real Madrid against Barcelona as well. Good luck. So that's 46 million from Southampton. One that we've been tracking for about 2 years. About 3-4 reports on him, all 5 stars. And that is very rare indeed. Bergstaller was a similar situation, but he's dropped to 4.5-star potential, so maybe the reports have been an absolute shambles on this lad. But, we had money to burn. We had money to burn, and I want to make sure that when these attacking options that we've got, you know, kick the bucket, not in that sense, but, you know, hang up the boots for Titus Pétange, sign up for another club. We have proper replacements. Rob Brain was a decent replacement to Shin Young Ho, but I'd like them a little bit younger than that. Rob Brain, already 25 years old. I mean, we'll get like a solid couple of years from him, and then it'll be like time to get going. He's a fantastic player. How can he be the same ability as Kalonji, sorry. It doesn't make any sense to me. Not saying that Kalonji's a bad player. No. If he was a bad player, I would never sign him. But Rob Brain should be, you know, 4.5 star. Or Kalonji should be 3.5 star. That would probably make more sense. Alright, so that's a transfer history done. We've also got the transfer centre. 3 more players coming in. Robinson Cardenas, who was... I did scout him. Why does that stop scouting? Reports. Hello? Swear to God, man. There we go. Well, the stars are there, so I must have scouted him at some point. Whatever. He's a very, very good Ecuadorian, I think, midfielder. And he's actually grown since the last time I've checked that. Very nice. Problem is he's only 5'5". Pablo Munoz, who is coming in as a 5-star player from Atletico Madrid. And I think it was like a really, really low contract. So he just like hiked up his wages. Release clause on his contract, should I say. And this one's probably, yeah, it was 2.5 million. This one's the more surprising to me because, like, English young players get massively, massively overhyped. But this lad, somehow, they didn't sign him up on a contract. He had £3 million in compensation. I offered Liverpool £3 million. They accepted. And we're getting a 4.5-star right back. Hopefully. Great wheel already. 17 years old. It's a fantastic foundation. It's a fantastic base. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. That was a lot of talking, wasn't it? Adrovic. Let's just go through this first team. So you understand the wheels. I think Balkaya is now one of the new old guard, should we say. Albano, Almeida, Raphael Beck, Burtgard, Rob Brain, Burnett, Reuben Gomez, Kalonji, there's Lefinia, 2-time Ballon d'Or winner, Modesto, O'Halloran, Afori, Paradiso. We'll talk about this guy in a second. Rojas is in here, Salazar, and back to Adrovic. Okay, so what the fuck is happening with Quattrochi? Yes. So the gamble from this Australian unknown player that had a magnificent wheel, it's kind of paid off. He's 22 years old. He's still very young. He's had some decent loan spells out to Levante and Hoffenheim. Great average ratings out there. He's still growing. And because we got rid of Dodig, we needed to look for like this Mazzella type of player. Didn't think it would come in the form of a left-sided midfielder. But I looked at his wheel and I was like, if we could up his vision, which I think was 11 at the start of the season, if we could up his vision, this is going to be a seriously good Mazzala. So we've been training him. And training him we have done. He's now accomplished in the middle of the park. He's got one more step to become natural there. He's been all right. You know, 7.35 average rating, 2 goals, 3 assists. It's not blowing the house down, but it's not bad either. He likes big games as well, which is always a plus. I love when players playing in big games. This is a magnificent find. I just took a gamble on him because I liked his wheel. And the wheel has come back clutch. Because now I'm looking at it and going, yeah, Mazzala. He's absolutely a Mazzala. Got great technicals, we just need to up his vision. If we can get his vision into the greens, he's going to be magnificent. And what a signing. From out of bloody nowhere. 1.3 million from Melbourne City. I hope it's a wonderful, wonderful story. His potential's 4 stars, so you'd like to think he's going to become world class if that's the consideration there. And that's it, man. It's just crazy. It is just absolutely bonkers. Is there any other like serious position changes? Not from what I know. No, not from what I know. Quattrocchi is the big one. Bergstaller might become a right-hand side of the player. It depends. It depends on how many good strikers we get from this lot. Woof. It is mental. Lots of lone players. Should we go through these as well? Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about as well. Thabo Mazegla, the perfectionist Dutch goalkeeper. He's probably going to take over from Afori very, very soon. 21 years old. Plenty of time for him to like bed in. Nearly as good as Afori right now. His aerials, distribution, shot stopping, and almost all in the dark green. In fact, his shot stopping is in the dark green. So this is when loans go very, very right for you. Let's just flick through the others. Mengo looks all right. Naimoan, we've already gone through. Oliveira will probably get sold. Then we've got Quero. Christie's doing all right. Squadrone, we've just come into. Raul Torres and Turco. Ulysses has grown nicely. Look at this. Felipe Valencia has gone back up to 5 stars. I don't think he was 5 stars at the end of last season. Van Leeuwen, Almeida, Bashturk, Barreto still here and still improving. Bergstaller, Ismail Dago, the Ivory Coast winger. And they've got Deju at Nîmes. Embalo could be sold. Slightly injury prone as well. Got a dislocated shoulder at the moment. Juan Ho should be in the first team, but AC Milan have offered him 2 great loan contracts through the last couple of seasons, so I can't really say no to a bit of extra money. Because Juan Ho would be, a bench player? We could just add another centre-back to our ranks, honestly. Cafando is out on loan this year. Of course, he was brought in as a kind of panicky signing at the end of the summer transfer window last season. Larkin, there he is. Alberto. Mamutovic is growing really nicely, like the looks of him. Maega. You got Maega. What on earth? Can Maega go? But I like it. His potential is apparently 4.5 stars. I've ignored him a little bit. He's better than what I expected. Martinez is a great signing. What a sign. 3 million from Atletico Madrid. They love letting me have these really good wonder kids for very cheap. He's growing at Hellas Verona, and it goes back to Mazegla. I don't think... Oh, there is that under-18s player, Pinheiro. And that is your lot. That's the entire team. You've got to be now very much up to date. It's Titus Pétange against Monaco. And the winner, well, if we win this, we qualify for the knockout rounds. I don't really know where else we can go from there. Still a quality side. But I'd like to... I think, like, if we got to the semis, that would probably be overachieving, to be honest. Paradiso and Lefinja are amazing, amazing players, but they're not amazing enough to get us single-handedly to a Champions League triumph. So Burtgard off the left. Here's the cross. Oh, and it looks like Nguyen. He has conceded a very cheap penalty. Don't think we need to consult with the VAR. When does VAR say that the penalty is not awarded? Lefignot, deep breath. I mean, he scored penalties in way more pressurised situations. It's a lovely spot kick. It's a lovely one. 13 goals for the season. He's up and running after the injury. I think Paradiso had a longer, he had a torn hamstring at like 3 to 4 months. Lefignot was a bit less crazy. I think he was like 5 to 6 weeks. But still a hefty layoff for someone that was fit for the most part recently. Get the ball back, Paradiso. Oh, we're flying. Raphael Beck, 2-0, Titus Pétange. So there's a lot of pressure on Beck's shoulders after Suchan and Dodig leave. He's a different kind of midfielder. Not really great defensively. So how do we fit that in? I'm going to try and make him a deep line playmaker in defence, but he will have to sort out his defensive qualities. And he's gonna have to mould around Quattrocchi, because if Quattrocchi continues this high development as a Mazzala, if it really does work out for him, then Beck will have to play defensive, like that deep line playmaker. Salazar will have to play deep line playmaker or right back if he's needed. A really nice utility player there. He can also play attacking right mid, can Salazar, which we've seen recently as Paradiso has had that little injury. So we are flying. This is far better than what I expected. Is Beck playing centre back? Beck's very, very deep there. Oh, absolutely shocking by Monaco. No, he's not playing centre back. Gomez Almeida. Almeida's playing centre back. That's an interesting one. He's only a short fry, but we do have height. We have surrounded him with height. Gomez looks really, really good. I'm telling you, the bloody Portuguese regions that I've found in the last 4 years have been outstanding. Here's Nguyen. Here's Nguyen, isn't it? Win? It might be Win. Oh, Brian Leffen, yeah! 4-0, Titus Pétange. Jesus. What a stunning game of football we're having here. Huet with the free kick, and we just cleared it off the line. So you can see them defensive frailties. Oh yeah, we'll have the line replay. Leffinger's got that hat-trick at a 9.4 rating, 9.3 rating already. Crazy stuff. And Paradiso with 2 assists. He just gets assists for fun. There you are. Leffinger hat-trick. Won by Beck. Let's have a look at Raphael Beck. Yeah, so his defensive attributes aren't that great. If we can get it to about here, to the top of the orange, we're then talking. He becomes a world-class deep line playmaker. But that's a hell of a gap to close. It just depends on how much potential. Maybe this is the top of 160 PA. Maybe it's closing into 170. If it's 170, we've got plenty of time. This guy is probably only like a 140 at the moment, I think. That's just eyeballing it. Quattrocchi to Paradiso. Go on. Oh, Beck! Oh, what a save by Mbida! What a save! He's conceded 4, but that was absolutely outstanding stuff by the goalkeeper. What a stop! 13 shots to 4, 10 shots on target to 1. Absolute domination. Very good. You might be thinking, well, why did you just sell some of the players in the first place? You could have got another Champions League or two with them, which is absolutely true. It's just that I thought it was the right time. Especially, I think it was Dodig, which was the first one to really gain some serious interest, like proper money. As soon as I knew that Dodig was bound to go, I don't think he was the first one because we were negotiating for a long time. But as soon as he was bound to go, I was like, right, okay, well, this might be the moment where we should take out a certain amount of players around the same age range to make way for the next generation. Lefinya's got a 10 now with 4 goals. Make that 5 goals. He's flying. He's running absolute bloody riot. Fantastic, mate. It's good. Unfortunately, this 5-goal hole will probably get him another fucking Ballon d'Or, won't it? Oh, Paradiso in the mud. 6-0 Titus Pétange. We are through to the first knockout round. And I think this will only be a 2-episode season because I can't see us getting into the semi-finals. So the next episode will be going through what on earth happened this season. A Fori might also be going, depending on what goalkeeper we can get back off loan. I don't think Mazagla can come back. Maybe one of the other ones. I don't know. I don't know. It'll depend on who we got drawn with in the first qualifying round of the Champions League. If it's against someone big, then I might just take the hit and say, right, okay, let's get knocked out here. Or if we get like a big transfer offer for him, maybe in the ballparks of like £60 million, maybe we can go, yes, that is enough. Thank you very much for your service. We'll take the 6-month wait to get Mazagla in as our first choice goalkeeper. I don't know. We'll have to see. But what keepers he's been for us. Jesus Christ. Yep, that's it. That's a lot. Hopefully we can still see some crazy growth off of Quattrocchi. I'm going to try and give Kalonji as much chance as possible. Can't believe we picked up a model citizen for what, £11 million. That is just ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm having so much fun on this save. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.